And we're back for part number 3 of Day 9 Daily number 495, where we learn to be a better gamer with total cheesy bullshit. Yes, thank you, Liquid Chef. I'm going to go right into the game. We're getting the chance to see this cool Swarm Host Rush play, where we are doing non-stop Queen Swarm Host production. We ended up with apparently 23 being a money amount of drones. It's almost like an economic forgate in PvP. So Mothership Core comes out from our good friend GL Notissimus, who essentially sees what's up and goes, Magurd Swarm Host. A little bit of puke and overlords can't be bad. Keep in mind that if you wanted to, you could build a spine crawler there, but probably don't actually want to do that. Notissimus trying to have casual conversation, but of course Sheth loves bashing on casuals. And with this gradual creep forward, this is actually going to be a huge problem. How can you really deal with this? I mean, getting our warp gates up, I honestly don't really know. Swarm Host, Queen production en masse, creep highway, trying to get the queens up there as quickly as possible. And again, units lost tab, we have nothing lost for Liquid Chef because locusts are free of charge. Now, if you're getting really worried that he's going to have enough units in detection, morph that guy into an overseer. And then what you can do is just shoot it down with the queens, or at the very least, transfuse with the queens. Is this not awesome? Does this not just make you want to switch to Zerg? And there's the observer. It sees everything. Now what are you gonna do about it, Protoss? Protoss scum. Looks like we see, I think Sheth is doing one of these classic cheese all-in blunders that I think will just get weeded out pretty quickly as players start to experience losses. This is where you're doing damage, expand and start droning. It says like, more Swarm Hosts! Build more of them. So guys, I have a question. What do you do when you're behind? Well, quite honestly, you Dark Shrine. So we're halfway there. GL Notissimus, really high on money because he keeps losing stuff. There's a Dark Shrine going down. But yeah, one Overseer away. More Swarm Hosts and expansion. But of course, a single pylon out in the middle of the map is basically Death Town. Game's done, life's over, good game, no re. Sheth has been focusing far too much on this frontal effort push. Although this units lost tab certainly does look good. That's a good looking units lost tab, isn't it? That's quite a pretty one. I like that. I would ask Santa Claus for it, but unfortunately I haven't been a very good boy this year because I've been stealing this build. This is a very, very pretty looking units lost tab. I like this. But suddenly, uh-oh, dum dum dum, dun 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 dun. And tragically, when behind Dark Shrine, would actually work right. Oh my god. Everything's getting killed. Liquid Chef in emergency mode. Oh my god. Ermagerd Templar. But I want to just point out the key thing that happened there. I was having fun just screaming. Screaming is actually one of my favorite things, especially since I play the sniper in TF2 because I always die to a spy. I love screaming. Right here we get the opportunity to see the Overseer Cocoon. Where's my unpause button? So, in the midst of this, if we actually come to the Army Supply tab, we see that GL Notissimus actually doing quite well. We have the, how many of these do we have? We have, yeah, it looks like 4 total. 4 of these and 4 queens up against the army that... This is just gonna win. Just straight up. 7 DTs. This is just gonna crush. The rest of our stuff is actually back home. However, look at what Chef does. Doom, doom, doom. Kill it! And... got him! Oh, you see that last swipe didn't connect? Thank you very kindly. And, yeah, there's actually no observatory. Can't do much of anything. Except morphin DTs to go ahead and kill Chef's main base. Excelente. So while Chef is busy trying to be a big baller, badass shot caller, he's dying and his whole main is falling apart. So, what is going to be the key for our hero, Liquid Chef? How will he survive the terrors that are being thrown at his very front door? Running in circles? Will that work? Of course not. DTs are faster than circles. Traveling at the speed of faster than circles. Get him. Got him. At the front, we see continued pressure. The Observer. Get the Observer. The micro battle is terrifying and definitely goes into Chef's favor upon killing that Observer. He's re-expanding to the killed natural of his good old buddy. And of course, in Units Lost tab, we still see the advantage of getting these swarm hosts. Kind of why they're a cool unit. Pretty much all the races have something somewhat like this. Less so Protoss. I mean, the Tempest is certainly badass, but it's a little bit more inconvenient to get than the other two races' things. Excuse me. I apologize for yawning. It's just that it's bedtime, you guys. Things going quite well. The building that allows me to build swarm hosts, he kills last. Only letting this geyser finish as the final death. Chef now has a completely functioning economy. I don't really have any commentary left to do. This is just a cool game. As Chef is just slowly locusting his way forward. I'll actually open the Unit Lost tab because it tends to be the most interesting panel that we're actually going to see. I think Chef is wise not to move his swarm host too far up. Just building Zerglings. Expanding to here. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Looks like Chef is rebuilding the layer, not getting Zergling speed. He needs to make sure that he can continue his swarm host production yet again. Protoss would do this. Oh my god, look at this badass. Pylon free gateways using the warp prism. Freaking badass. And in other exciting news, no units is not as powerful as free units. And so, we end up seeing the force field's not quite enough. God, I feel so bad for Notissimus, who built, it seems like nearly 20,000 worth of goods this game. God, that's cool. I hope he moves the warp prism at some point. Mothership Core demonstrating that we would love to see it get a speed buff. I really would like a Mothership Core speed buff. That way I can run cross map and do a warp in. Dude, I'm gonna tell a story. I actually killed Chef on this very map. I had like a bunch of Zealot Archon and like 3 sentries, and I swept. I was up here, and Chef was down here, and I sent my Mothership Core at like minute 4. I sent it so early to go right here. And at minute 11, I mounted an attack here and killed off his 3rd, and then recalled onto his ramp, and then force fielded it, and I just started screaming into my microphone. I was like, Chef, your main! You're not gonna have a main anymore! Yeah! Just screaming, and he's laughing because I'm like 2 and 8. Oh my god. That was the greatest. Take that, Liquid Chef. I hope you're watching. But yeah, Chef goes ahead and handily kills his opponent, having lost a 3rd as much stuff. The probe counterattack ends up being surprisingly effective. And again, we get the... amazingly enough, we get to see that yet again, the swarm host is really bad at dealing with counterattack, and... pow. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Would anyone like to do some questions? I'd like to do some questions. I'd like to do some questions. Let's go ahead and go to... Oh, I need authorization. I know my own passwords for this. What? It won't, Marky. Marky, it's not letting me grab the question. Marky. What was the name of that map? Is this the one? Marky! Marky! Alright, this is a replay. I'll show a cool moment. This is just... Alright, is anyone asking anything reasonable? Do I think the Swarm host will be helping in getting the game to be more dynamic in SC2 as it was in Brood War? I think it'll help because suddenly things become a lot more about position and mobility and this sort of thing, and less about what unit I chose to build 2 minutes ago that's happening in this battle right now. This is a lot of questions. I really wish the question grabber was letting my login information function. Let's see here. People asking me all these speculation things. Is this a game? God, I sent this thing out so early. Alright, let's see. Okay. This is really hard to read. I want to actually show everyone what I'm looking at over here. I can't. Trying to think about how does this... Why is it burned? Ah! Alright, I'm going to try to see it. I'm going to try to figure this out. I want to take questions really badly. Ah! Here's a great question from Goomba Machine. I'm going to open up a notepad and paste it. Aha! From Goomba 101 Machine, Day 9. How would the Viper fit into gameplay like that? Since their BioCloud thing could stop units from really counterattacking, while the Swarm host attack could be something else. How would the Viper factor into that? So, what I like about the idea of the bio, or I think it's Blinding Cloud. Blinding Cloud, for any of you unfamiliar with the Viper ability, is you cast it and it creates a little green disc of area. Anything under that disc has range reduced down to 1. So, for instance, if you have a line of siege tanks, you can Blinding Cloud all of them, walk the roaches up, and kill it off. And that's very clearly good. Because I'm thinking, what would... Because if you're attacking with your Swarm hosts, and back home you had the Viper... I mean, definitely the Viper would be super good in continuing the crawl forward. Like if you had even 2 Vipers and you had some nearby geysers, because I'm pretty sure Vipers still have the consume. I actually haven't checked up on that, but it used to be that you could consume buildings. So you just build Vespian gas geysers everywhere, and then you like do the yoink, the abduct, kill off things, go over and feed off this Vespian geyser that's built in the middle of the map and that sort of thing. But I'm wondering, how could you use the counterattacking type stuff to your advantage? I mean, maybe if you had a lot of spine crawlers. Yeah, I think you just need the units. Feel like you really... I feel like Roach... Roach Locust is going to be just a real big common standard. Or maybe... No, I don't know. I just think that you can't dedicate that much resources to the Swarm Host. I think that's really the big answer. I really hope there's a clear thing that comes up. I don't know. I'll need to play around with it. I'm actually going to take one more question and show you my awesome moment. Much to the chagrin of Chef. Oh, from Pants B. Pants B, whom I have monobattled with and received a gift from him and, of course, Mrs. Pants B. Let's see. Day 9, could you use Nidus at the front and in the main to help with the mobility problem? That's brilliant. Yeah, maybe that'll be the big key, because you can like throw down the locusts, and then if you see the counterattack coming, you can pull up and burrow. Hell, that would be some interesting harassment style things. Actually, I pose the following to you. If you'd be so kind as to do some Nidus Worm times Swarm Host type things in the mid and late game, that would actually probably be really cool to see those games. If you could send those to feedback@day9.tv. That is something else. That is a cool thing. Really wish the Nidus Destroyer was in there. I'm going to show you this game. My brain's petering out. My brain is petering out. Alright, let me... So at the start of this game, I got totally screwed. Sheth got a bunch of Zerglings into my base, and I just like lost a bunch of my stuff because I'm awful. Yeah, trapping his stuff. So then I'm like, alright, here we go. This is the point where I just realize I'm all in. You can support 8-gate Zealot Archon kind of comfortably and do other stuff, but if you want to go all in, get 10 gateways, my friend. So I'm like floating this thing over. Look at Sheth, he just like has this Zergling here. Just like following it, and I fucking kill it. Got him. Get him, got him. Meanwhile, Sheth is getting to do absolutely anything he wants. He's getting to build up his cool little Swarm Host dudes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, look at Chef positioning all his overlords. He thinks I don't know. Alright, here it comes. Here it comes. Go ahead and put this bad boy up. Oh, yeah, there's my Archons coming in. Zoom! Zealot Archon, of course, the most brokenly good composition in the game. Roasting him. Oh, kill it off. Here comes his army! And look at this. Look at this. I'm getting greedy. Bringing it all back. Let's get together. Oh no! Oh, the 5-minute journey is complete. Oh, whoa! Ah! Getting him. I accidentally knocked down my own force field. Yeah, and I messed up and zoning him, and you're blocked off. I'm screaming in Skype right now. I want you to know. I'm like on the phone with Shev, and I'm just like, oh, your main base, oh! Warping in more units. I'm still totally all in. I've walled myself in. I have absolutely no way. And of course, I'll even note, I'm trying to produce as fast as frickin' possible as I can. I like still can't keep my money down with 10 gateways, man. It's too hard. I needed 12. I'm like spamming as fast as possible. Is it the funniest, awesomest game of all time? Morphin and Archons, the greatest unit in StarCraft 2. Getting them! My mothership core is dead though, which really bums me out. Seriously, my macros, I'm like not missing a beat with these things. I was like trying so hard to macro and keep my money low. It's just been hovering at like 1500. I just didn't want to build another gateway. And I fist pumped so hard with like my giant trust fund of money in the bank. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, you too. Most important thing to note, let me just pull back to the 10-minute mark. This is the day. This is the day when the mothership core decided to go onto an incredible journey. The 11-minute mark. Get there. Dun. All right. Dun 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 dun. But I'll be spotted. In position. Recall! Like, you'll literally note that this guy was floating all freaking game. Just like with his little stupid orb thing floating around. Just like, I'll get there. This image looks a lot cooler with my laundry in the background. I'm thinking, woo! Floating mothership core. Oh, you want me to float over there? No problem. Floating mothership core. I'm gonna go. And then tomorrow's Fun Day Monday. We're going to watch games of you playing Wings of Liberty, crying because you don't have a beta key. Nothing I can do about it. Submit those to Monday at day9.tv, a game of you winning with as few units as possible. See you tomorrow. Bye!